Our education system should provide equal opportunity for all the students without any difference between caste, creed. Our local colleges should be equal to global standards. So everyone should get quality education. Everyone should get higher standard of education. How to become an entrepreneur, how to become a manager, how to become a leader. Hello my dear students, I am your Ajay sir, faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysuru, a temple of excellence. My dear students, in today's session I am going to handle the subject Management of Service for Second Sem BBA, and the topic is Hospital and Education Service. My dear students, in the previous session also we were discussing so many points on the modern trends in education or modern concepts in different parts of the world. What are the new concepts coming up in the sector of education? Now and also in our country also we have come across with different types of modern education system. So let's continue the points. Now, competency based education. What do you mean by competency based education? Are we giving competency or competitive skill to our students? So according to current competition, according to our skills required in the industry, in the company, so we have to provide according to the ratio, or the ratio should match to our competency, whatever the actual competency required. For example, if you compare to other country students, so they are very competitively highly skilled, they are having very much competitive skill, so our students are going back. If you compare to city students or the like Bangalore, Delhi and other students, so our village students or the village aspirants or urban or semi-urban aspirants are the geographically backward. They're coming from the geographically backward areas. So those students has to get the competency to compete with those students. So in our education system should provide equal opportunity for everyone. Our education system should provide equal opportunity for all the students without any difference between caste, creed or their economic or rural background. So competency based education system that regardless of the length of time it takes for the students to complete the course, the students complete based on what they know already. So what do you mean by that? So the competency should increase in the students. Instead of getting the marks, instead of getting pass, are they enough competitive, have they got the competitive knowledge in that particular subject? That is very important. So without getting competency, we should not go to the next concept. So the all concept should be understood by the particular student, then only we should go to the next chapter or next concept. That's what competency based education. So next one is Bologna process. What do you mean Bologna process? It is an agreement. It is more than an agreement, that a concept that Bologna process is an agenda bent on responding to a changing landscape. The education system, the process has to change according to the needs and demands of the society. So we should not keep on giving the same information, yes, we need history. So without understanding history or without understanding our past, we cannot dream about our future. See, with the same parallel to the history, we should also provide futuristic education, and also what is the current requirement is needed in the society. We have to change our education system according to the current changes. See, change is the only thing which is not changing. So change is the only thing which will not change in the world. So we have to accept, our students has to accept the change. Always this is the human tendency that we will avoid the change. We will oppose the change. So when our students are enough competitive, our students are enough technologically advanced, if they are more dynamic, that dynamic one word, I'm using the word dynamic. What do you mean by dynamic? So they should be ready to accept the change. So what do you mean by dynamic? So dynamic means we should ready to accept the change. It may be education system, social system, anything, because changes happens from the students community only. Changes happens from the college or education system only. So whatever the changes, if you look at the history, all the changes, most of the changes are happening in the society or in the community from the students community and the young community. That's why, so our students should ready to accept the change, and education system should provide that concept, that mindset to the students to accept the change, to be dynamic in the society. While facing the society, while facing the actual world, they should be dynamic enough to accept the change, understand the change, and ready to do the work with change. Next one, degree qualification. So we have to provide degree qualification. We have to increase the quality of the degree. So simply getting BCom or BBA is not enough. Simply getting the MCom or MBA is not enough. Are we providing? Is that qualitative enough to provide the job? Is that qualitative enough to provide the or to enhance the skill of the students? That is very, very important. Next one, the Lumina Foundation argues that degree programs need to set benchmark for students that we prepare them for an ever-changing workplace. That's what dynamic. So workplace will be changing for every year, for every 6 months. Technology is changing, the demand is changing, supply is changing, the actual requirement in the working sector is changing every day. Is our students are enough to accept the change? Is our students are dynamic enough to accept and go with the change, go with the what is happening in the society? So we have to provide, our education system should be strong enough, should be bold enough to provide the bold and strong mindset to our students to accept and go with the change. That's why we have to improve the degree qualification. So we have to improve the quality of the degree. So just giving the more subject in the degree or just setting more subject in degree is not enough. Is that enough? Is that qualitative enough to provide the mindset to our students to accept the change? So if you have confidence, when you get the confidence, when you get the knowledge, proper knowledge, quality knowledge which is required, then only you will get the confidence. Yes, I can face the world because I have enough qualification, I have enough quality, I have enough skills. So if you are not having enough skills to match with the actual current requirement, so you will be not having confidence to face the world, actual current world or actual current competition in the world. So we have to provide, we should be always futuristic. So our students should be ready to face the future problem today itself. Then only they will get confidence. Next one, Herbert-Stein's law. What in the Herbert-Stein's law says? So if something can't go on forever, it has to be stopped and we have to adopt the change. So if the historical concept or whatever so many concepts we are using, so many education systems, in our education we have so many historical concepts which is not work today. So leave those things which is not work today and improve the things which can work in future and current situation and adopt it. That is the Herbert-Stein's law. Next one, disrupting innovation. What is disrupting innovation? In response, disruptive innovation means the expense and elitism of education is changing to provide an affordable alternative. So our system is getting expensive day by day. To become a doctor is expensive, to become an engineer, so we need lakhs of rupees to become doctors, sometimes crores of rupees we are spending. So it should become affordable. Even poor people, the students who are coming from the poor background, backward class, backward society, or maybe culturally, or maybe geographically, or maybe economically, financially and family sector background students also should go to the higher level of education like doctors, engineers, lawyers, like that. Then only the education system we can get the equality in the education system. Next one, open innovation. So anyone can, so it should be open to all students to come up with innovative ideas. So in higher education, this means the bringing together various institutions for competitions locally and globally. So our local education system, our local colleges should be equal to global standards. Then only we can compete with the global educators or global students. So our students should be enough qualitative enough to go to abroad, so face the competition or give the competition to other country people also. Next one, high quality teachers. So we need high quality teachers in our education systems. Those they should be having a not only degree, master degree, they should be having enough quality. They should produce more paper, they should present more papers, they should be having concept. So concept is very, very important. Are they having enough concept to teach the students? Just teaching the syllabus, just teaching the textbook is not enough. They should provide what is actual, they should mingle, or they should synthesize the theory with the practical problems. When they give conceptual knowledge, when they synthesize the concept to the actual problem and how to solve the actual problem, current world problem, then it will become qualitative education. That's funny. For that we need quality teachers. Next one, finish education. What do we finish education? Instead of focusing on meeting standards and raising the top. Finland focus on providing the quality education to everyone. So what do you mean by that? So everyone should get quality education. Everyone should get higher standard of education. So all should get it, even though apart from their background, it may be they are coming from rural, they are coming from urban, they are coming rich or poor. Everyone should get equal type of education. That is the Finland concept of education. Next one, changing agent. Education is a changing agent. It should be a dynamic education. The person who is ready to dynamic. So we should provide the leadership in our education. We should provide the how to become an entrepreneur, how to become a manager, how to become a leader. So we have to inculcate leadership in our students by providing the quality of education. So when they understand the actual problem in our world, what our rural people are facing every day, what our urban people are facing problems every day, what is the semi-urban people's slums, what are their economic conditions, social background, cultural background. So if I am a scientist, if scientists understood what is the actual problem in rural area, in urban area, in slum, so he can build some more new innovation to solve the problem. So just don't give the education, don't let them or make them engineers. Make engineers who can understand the problems of the people. Make doctors, those doctors who can understand the problems of village people, remote area people. Then their education can be useful for those people also. The education should be what is the purpose of education? Just getting doctor or becoming doctor is not useful. Just becoming an engineer is not useful. After becoming engineer, what you will going to do? After becoming a doctor, what you will going to do? After you becoming a lawyer, how do you serve the society? Do you make money? To make money, you got the education. So instead of getting education, if you're doing business also, you could have become rich people, isn't it? So by going to become a doctor, by going to become a lawyer, engineer, and other lecturer, professor, so you have to serve. That's why you take oath while becoming a doctor or engineer or lawyer. Yes, I will going to serve. So my knowledge, what I got the skill, that should be useful for the societal development. The ultimate person or the last person in the society or the lowest person in the society, he should get benefited from your education. Then only it will be successful. That's why. So we have to provide those concepts. We have to provide those concepts in education system. Next one, mobile education. So wherever you go, wherever you are, so you can learn through internet. So why we are coming in online. We are coming in recorded classes in YouTube's. So why we are doing this? You can go anywhere, everywhere. All students can watch our videos. All students can get the concept. All students get the information and education. And all students can ask questions through online, offline. They can solve their doubts. And this is what anywhere education, mobile education. Even you are traveling, no matter. Even you are in rural area, no matter. Urban area, no matter. Everywhere you can, wherever you want, you can learn. This is what mobile education. Next one. Invisible structure. What do you mean invisible structure? So breaking down the walls of education. That's what. So at home only you are learning, you are getting information, isn't it? Because of technology. So we are using a technology in a way that all students, it may be poor people, it may be without discrimination of the poor. The technology, the YouTube will not discriminate. So he is poor, he is rich, he is come from rural area, he is come from urban area on the basis of caste, creed, anything. So all are getting equal information, equal knowledge, equal wisdom. Everything is equal on the base. This is what equal society we need. So because of the invisible structure. So how do you learning? Because in invisible structure, because of net, because of the college, you need not to come to college now. There is no requirement of structure today to come. You have to come to college. You have to sit in bench. We use the blackboard or green board. We will write on the board, and you will get to understand. You have to write in classroom. So without classroom also, without board also, without all this infrastructure, we can learn through internet, through technology. This is what breaking down all the walls of education doesn't simply mean that creating an online classroom, but encouraging students to meet open space and learn outside the confines of the institution. So not only in college. So what education is not equal, what you're learning just inside the college. So if you go to, for example, we may get industrial trip, We may go to industrial trip, we may go to other trips, there also we'll learn. We may go to know for cleaning purpose, for giving social service purpose. All outside also we can get the knowledge. Outside the world or outside the classroom also we can get the knowledge, we can get the education. That's what education. Education means, educated means, who is, why we call him as an educated. We can call him learned person, we can call him, if you call him as education, he should be having all types of knowledge, all types of skill, all types of humanity. Should be having humanity, he should be having sympathy, he should be having empathy, should be having all types of humanities. Then only we will be called as educated. Otherwise we will be called as, that's why we should be having a personality, then only we will be called as person. Otherwise we can call you human being. Why we should call him person? So the person who is having a personality, so we have to enhance our personality, then only we can, through invisible structure, without college also, coming to college also, without coming to college environment also, you can learn so many things. Next one, economic empowerment. So we, by providing the loans facility, finance facility, by improving the economic background of the students and family, we can enhance, we can make them to come to higher education and also get higher educated, and becoming higher educated become good salary, good job and good service to the society. Next one, occasional training. So many universities offering of occasional trainings, often used by the government to train displaced workers. It can be a valuable source of study for anyone waiting to specialize in areas such as various types of medical, technical and other areas. What do you mean vocational trainings? Those workers who are, for example, the children of the workers, so who are traveling from one place to another place, so they cannot go to formal school. So the universities and schools and colleges are providing occasional training. There, for example, some camps they will arrange, and also they will provide the education for aged people also, for children also they will provide the education. For aged people they will teach how to learn, how to read and write. For children they will provide some education, basic education they will provide. That's what vocational training. Next one, gamification. So our students are facing difficulties in education. They are taking so much of burden, and also they are feeling difficult because they feel subject is very, very hard. So how to make them easy, how to make the subject to them easy is gamification. We should transform the education, whatever the teaching method, to become a games. So when you play games, you feel stress free, you feel risk free, isn't it? So you feel comfortable, you should feel free when you play the game. Like that, education should become a game. So we should provide so many tasks, so it should be converted to games. Then only so through games also we can learn. So learning the concept by playing some games, learning the concept by playing some games. So in order, we have to convert the education. So whatever instruction we provide, so we can convert, we can add some games to that. We can add some gamification by using technology, or by using some other skills. We can convert the actual concept to games. By playing the game, you can understand the concept. Next one, collective education. What do students learn in groups, and more importantly with each others better than. So for example, in exam time, during exam time, even though teacher teaches the students, whatever learns from his friends, suggestions from his friends, the friends will be good teacher than actual teacher. Do you know that? So for example, if you go to in the exam time, during exam time, what you will do, you will go to group study with your friends. So because your friend will be the same mindset, he will be having in the same mindset. So what he has understood in a easiest way he will teach. Even though he cannot go to deepest concept, but in a same, because he is having a similar knowledge what you are having. So in your way, the teacher cannot come to your level so many times, because we have to go through the concept. We cannot teach sometimes crude method, but your friend will teach crude method. So this is not like this. You can with crude method, you can do like this. So many times your friend will help you than your teacher. Isn't it like that? So through group studies, through group discussion is very, very important. So in group discussion, we can learn a lot. we can learn so many different types of techniques and skills, how they understood that concept. So for me, understanding concept was very, very difficult, but he understood in a very easiest way. So this is what collective learn. Next one, personalized education. So providing education personally, we have to go to the point of students, to the level of students mindset. Then we have to provide, for example, all students cannot learn in the same way. Their mindset is, understanding level is different. So we have to understand students mindset and we have to adjust to their mindset, and we have to go through and we have to teach in a student's mindset. So like that, for example, 10 students, 2 to 3 students we can have. If they are, for example, those who are scoring very less marks, we can call them and we have to provide the personalized teaching. Next one, flexible learning. What do you mean flexible learning? Flexible learning offers students choice, convenience and personal approach. Here also flexible learning according to time. For example, all students cannot attend regular classes, so we can allot them separate time for them. Flexible. So flexible time and also convenience. Some students take their own subject what they want. So instead of regular subjects, they can choose their subject. Like that, flexible learning we can implement. Next one, flipped learning. What do you mean flipped learning? It takes learning environment and flip it to around so that students do the nitty-gritty of learning with their teachers of professors, opposed to the studying for exams alone in the dark room. So what they can do, they can discuss with the lecturers, they can discuss with the teachers, professors, they can play small games with the lecturers instead of studying in dark room single alone. So they can discuss, they can play with students and they can talk, they can have casual talks with the lecturers and friends. So by in a group way, in a collective learning, only students will participate, but in flipping learning, even the lecturers will participate, just like friends, always all will sit together. So in a group they will discuss the concept. As a friendly environment will be there. Classical education. What is my classical education? So those students who have missed the classes, they can go to the lecturer and request for special classes. So this is what classical learning to for they can request for repeat the teaching for in a personal way. Next one, religious education. The religious education. So if you go to the temples, mosques and other religious institution, they can also provide some ethicals and moral values in the education system. Next one, moral education. What do you mean moral education? So without moral values, if you get education without moral values, it is equals to garbage. It is a waste, no use. So if you become a scientist, if your knowledge, if your skill, if your innovation, invention did not help to the development of the society, development of the it may be government, poor people, it may be society, it may be the community at large, if it is not useful for them, if you are using for destructive purpose, no use. If you becoming a scientist is no use, isn't it? So after becoming a doctor, your skills, your service is not useful for the society, for the country, for the poor people, for the backward people. If it is not useful for them, what is the use of becoming a doctor? What is the use of becoming an engineer, lawyer or any other scientist? So we have to give the moral education. So becoming scientist is easy, but becoming a good scientist is very, very difficult. Becoming judge is easy, but in order to go in a judge position, in order to continue in the judge position is very, very difficult. Becoming a lawyer is easy, becoming good lawyer is very, very difficult. So even though we are producing a large number of doctors, professors and judges, lawyers, so how many of them are working for the society is very, very important. So that's why in the moral education is important. So when they have moral values in their education system, when they know the actual problems of the poor people, the backward people, other community, it may be so generally discriminated people on the basis of gender, on the basis of caste, creed, background, geographical area, on the basis of race. So if they, as an educated, if they are doing discrimination, so what is the use of it? So they have to come up with education should take us from darkness to light. So the education should take us from black belief to actual or awareness. Then only education will be successful. For this we need moral education. Next one, expeditionary learning. What do you mean expeditionary learning? It brings the learning out into the world, expediting the needs to learn more than what's confined inside the classroom walls, but even more, so using the world to learn, so or taking everything from the world. So it may be new concept in America, you can take, we can learn, adopting that concept. If it is a different concept, new concept arising in Africa, take it, adopt it into our system. It may be in Australia, some other concept they are bringing, adopt it to our system. So taking everything, wherever new things is happening, wherever different or some skillful concept are emerging, please take it and improve it to or adjust it to or modify to our own system, and we can adopt it. That's what experientially learning. Next one, global view. What is the global view? Now, so in this latest book, Zua believes there need to be a paradigm shift in education that builds on students' strength and gives them a format where their talent flourish and take shape instead of education shaping them. So instead of letting the education to shape them, our own students should feel, yes, we have to shape our, we have to convert or we have to shape our personality according to the global standards. So what do you mean global citizens? So becoming a global citizen, what is the global view? So instead of becoming only citizen of one country, we have to become the global citizen. How you can become the global citizen? Accepting all positive things in the globe, accepting all religion as our own, accepting all differences. So we can, you may not accept the difference, but we can respect the difference, their different views, their different culture, their different body language, their different language. So everything we cannot accept so many times, but we can respect them, we can listen to them, we can accept later. If it is good, accept it. If it is not good, leave it and go for new things. So that's what global citizen, just becoming one country citizen is not only important, we have to become, our new generation has to become global citizens. So how to become global citizen? Taking everything from globe. So we have to, even though we are coming from locally, we should think globally. How to think globally? Come out from all compounds. So go out of the, that's why so many times our thinkers has told, so we should not stick on to only one culture, one language, one system. So accept everything, different, go to a different country, just watch them, how different culture is there, how they are struggling, what is their happiness, what is their sorrowness. So understand it and become global citizen. This is the global view. In the next session, we are going to discuss on new chapter, tourism service, very important and very interesting subject. Till then, thank you so much. Let's meet in the next session.